Looks like a small child's glove. Hey everyone, it's Tyler with Rusty Clam Garage, and today we are finally getting some work done on the brakes for this thing. We're gonna take this old rusty seized caliper, get rid of it, put in brand new AC Delco calipers on the fronts. I also have some lines, a new flaring tool, so I can make my own brake lines, and we'll be doing the front two calipers on the Clam today. I'm hoping to get to the rears sometime next month, but it's going a lot slower than I thought. Summer's been busy. My wife's had races. We've had stuff to do with the kids, so it's going a little slower than I thought, but I'm trying to keep forward progress going and then put this in. So let's get started on jacking up the truck, taking this wheel off, and working on the driver's side first. So don't have the jack handle that came with this one. It's my dad's jack. I'm probably gonna get a new jack to work on this thing, and some nice jack stands, because we're gonna want to have all four off the ground to figure out what's going on with the transfer case and kind of see how that's operating. But for now, I'm gonna use this one, and yeah. That's high enough. It's off the ground. You may have noticed I only took off 7. Well, that's because that's all that was on there. Now, this, if you can see it, still has some brake pad life on it. Actually, pads don't look too bad, but the problem is the caliper is seized. So, with the caliper being seized, I'm just gonna get a new one, because it's not worth it risking it. I've had a caliper seized on one of my old band vans, and we were on the highway, started seeing flames come up through one of the holes in the footwell, and yeah, that was terrifying. One of the most terrifying driving experiences of my life. We pulled off the highway, and luckily my friend who was in my band at the time, his apartment was right off the highway, so we pulled in, grabbed the garden hose, which is of course one of those springy ones that's just for watering your vegetables on your porch or something, and climbed under and just sprayed the hell out of it to stop the fire. But we got that fixed, put a new caliper on, driving down the road, and the brakes gave out. We blew the line, so we rolled up to his uncle's house, and luckily his uncle worked on cars, and we were able to change the brake line right on the driveway. Quick $15 fix. So definitely one of the most important things you can do now that I know more about cars is make sure the brakes are good before you start driving to places. So we're gonna work on that. And I think replacing this is the best idea, because there's no way that bleeder is going to work. This thing is rusted, so this is probably original, if not replaced 20 years ago. Take the brake line off. Still fluid in the lines. Make a mess. Oh yeah. Yeah, those caliper bolts are just gonna strip right out, so kind of wish this one didn't have a caliper on it either, just like the other side. Try to clean these out. Got one loose. There's one. I gotta get it out of there. That one just stripped right out, so that one's gonna be a bitch. Thinking, since I'm getting a new caliper, I may just cut it. Not sure how well that's gonna work. Let me see if I can get some vice grips on it. Okay. Let's try heating it. Maybe that'll help. Oh yeah. Just want to thank the guy who discovered fire. That probably just saved me a couple days and a couple cans of PB blaster. There we go. Alright, so this is going to take a little work to get free because it is seized. It's been dragging. If you heard it in the video last time, it was running. Every time I let off the gas, it would because the brakes were locking up. So let me get a hammer. I meant for that to happen. Get a different hammer. So no other hammers with me, so I'll use my wrench flavored hammer. And there we go. So the whole shield that's behind here, let's see if I can get this. So whatever this was, it no longer is. That was inside the rotor. There's also a bunch of leaves and some other shit in there. The dust shield is hitting the rotor too. There we go. Now, these rotors are definitely trash. I do want to get new rotors. Obviously, but for now these will do just fine for testing, making sure the braking system's working, and then I can get down to the wheel hub and all the other parts under here that are definitely going to need to be replaced. Wheel bearings, rotors, probably all of the front end suspension parts. But right now I just want to get the brakes working and functional so I can work out more of the kinks of the actual drive line, things like that, take it on the road, testing. I got new brake lines from the caliper to the hard line, and new calipers and brake line, so I can actually replace the entire front brake lines up to the brake balancing valve thing that's in the front end. Hopefully I can test the front brakes without having the rear brakes done yet. I think that there's a leak or there isn't brakes in the back, that it'll shut the valve and allow me to just use the front brakes, hopefully. If it's not, that's fine. We can wait until the back brakes are done. But this bearing actually doesn't feel too bad. I'm gonna get to work mounting the new caliper, putting the new brake line in. Looks like there's still fluid in there. And we'll go from there. I got my new calipers off Rock Auto, my new brake pads off Rock Auto, and I just went with cheap for now. This isn't going to be doing too much driving at first. I might upgrade the brakes later on when I'm planning on hauling a trailer. But brand new brake pads, brand new calipers. It's going to be a lot better than the seized one that was on it. This Husky toolkit is like one of the best things I've ever done. Pretty much every tool you're going to need. That's perfect. Before I mount the caliper on, I'm just going to spray a little PB Blaster in the threads for where the slide bolts go in, and everywhere else behind it. So I take my clip, put it onto the new pad. So I get the driver's side caliper mounted. Looking at the lines here, this is definitely where it's supposed to attach in there, and it's just kind of free floating. So I got 2 wrenches. I'm going to try to break that nut. Maybe I'll actually put my gloves on now too, since my hands are already gone. Keep kicking the camera. Anyway, I like to use this method where you kind of just offset the wrenches a little bit. I don't know if it's going to work without a vice grip on this one. So they're offset a little bit, so let's see if I can... Yep. You just squeeze, and that tension of your hand squeezing the 2 wrenches together will actually help you break free and not bend anything or damage anything. Let's hook that new brake line up. Oh, here's a problem. I don't think the ends of these lines fit. The caliper. Fuck. Fuck. So I need to return these. Well, let's get the other side on. Spider, get my seat all ready. Different branded tire on this side too. So you'll notice this side doesn't have a brake caliper at all. Didn't have one when I got it. Who knows when the last time it had one on there. It was a farm truck, so no one's been taking proper care of this thing in years. So I'm going to spray out those mounting holes, make sure they're clean with a wire brush, and install a caliper. got that clip put onto the new inside pad. That goes on the piston side. That sits inside the piston like that. If you get the clip to stay on, that'd be better. All right. Those sit nicely right on the lip. There's a little tab that you'll see on either side of the pad. That grabs onto the caliper, and then this piece right here sits underneath. So everything kind of wedges itself together, and then you can slide it on over the rotor. That one went on nice and easy. Feels pretty good. Second caliper is on. So yep, just like I thought, there's not even a rubber line over here. I don't think the hard line is there either. So oh my god. That's not even mine. So that's the nest that I'm finding now under the battery tray up here. That's a glove. Looks like a small child's glove. Yeah. Yep, that's just from one spot on the truck underneath the battery. So that's good. All right, so while we're here, I know that most likely that the master cylinder and the booster are not going to work. I'm planning on getting another one anyway, but I'm going to pop it open, see if there's any fluid in there, and also take a look at these hard lines going down to the valve down there, or the proportioning valve, because I think so far I haven't seen any leaks, but doesn't matter really for today because I don't have those soft lines. And I just kind of want to see if I'm going to have to be redoing these brake lines right away, or if I can hold off and just keep my kit. I figure I'm going to need to do the rear ones. I don't know if all of them are even hooked up. I see a wired connection down there that appears to be tied together to something. Not sure, but let's investigate. First thing, I'm going to pop open the reservoir, see if there's anything left in it. Open that cover. Looks like there's a little bit of fluid left in there, but just what hasn't drained out yet. So both of these lines run down to the valve. It's on the front of the frame. Let's see if I can crawl under there and get you guys a look at that. So we're tracing these down here, there. Let's crawl under. All right, so those lines run down to this. What I'm seeing is we got 2 bolts holding it to the frame here, this one and this one. And we have the lines coming in from up top right here. We got this one and this one. And then this right here runs over to that flared connection I could see from up top. And then from there, that goes to the front drivers. We have another brake line that goes up here, coming from this side right here. And that line runs up. Looks like it is capped off and cemented shut over here. So I'm guessing that is what goes to the other front caliper. But it is capped off. And then we have another one. And that one comes off of the side here. Runs up and inside the frame, heading towards the back. And although these lines look old and rusted, I'm not seeing any holes. So the brake lines may be good. Who knows if the proportioning valve is good or not. But they definitely went through some work to cap this line off. So we'll be undoing that, sending it through down there so that I can get the caliper on the passenger side working. I'd say these bushings are pretty much junk too. There's a lot of work over here. All right, so that's gonna be it for today. Not having the right lines, soft lines, kind of stopped me in my tracks today. I was gonna see if I could bleed out the front brakes, but I'll go to O'Reilly's maybe later today, switch out those lines, or at least return them and order the right ones, and we'll keep going. I'm gonna get that rear disc brake conversion kit for this and just keep pushing. I'm kind of losing my drive a little bit, but I'm gonna get it running. Hopefully next month, ready to at least make a decent run down the road. Maybe I'll register it and drive it around before I have to get it inspected. I really want to drive it this summer with my wife and take her for a ride, because she's been awesome and put up with me spending all my free time away from her working on this thing. So I'd like to get it at least ready to make a nice beach run once before the end of summer. So subscribe, like, leave a comment, tell me if I missed something, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks. Bye.